course, when I was in Pakistan, my education was all it's in college. I was there 12 years. So uske baad, went abroad and did all my bachelor, master's, doctorate there and worked there in IT field most of my life. So 95 mein, the company I was with got bought out with another giant company. Internet was just emerging. So it seemed like a good opportunity to start a business in tech, with internet and all these things going on. So that was the beginning of Xavor. So this IT business is very stable, it's wonderful, customers, in some cases our teams are literally growing old with the customers. 20-year projects chal rahe hain, in some cases even more. So what we saw with this whole AI and robotics and all these new things happening, there's really opportunity to make more impact on the business side, on the value creation. Not just for IT department, for the businesses, directly through new innovative use cases. And I was talking to a lot of experts I know over the years. One of them is Dr. Ramesh. He's a legendary, AI expert, set up a lot of robotic labs in US and even very famous in China. He advises many national labs there. So I met him in China and we were thinking, well, all this thing, how can we make greater societal impact? And we sort of looked at this problem of aging population. The world is aging and he said, if you want to work with me, I've done EVs and electrics and all these things. I don't want to work on those things anymore. He's, retired now and he said, I want to do things which are going to make impact on healthcare. So in fact, in a way, it was kind of us desire to work with him that said, okay, let's tackle this huge problem, aging population and how AI and robotics can help. And let's treat it like a startup. And that was the beginning of NaviGait. It was more really this whole shortage of caregivers. It was started discussion in China, but I was always the global, US, same situation, where older people are living alone in many cases, and caregivers is hard, whether you're a family caregiver or a paid caregiver. In China, in fact, there's even a bigger problem, which is a skilled caregivers. Somebody did a study, they said actually 1 out of 10 are actually qualified. Because you may be like a housekeeper type, but you're not a professional caregiver in dealing. So that's where we said, okay, how do we really build something, a robot or some device which is intelligent enough and can engage? Because engagement is kind of a critical part. You can have all kinds of apps and dashboard, but that's not going to be used by somebody, especially if they have a mental decline or dementia. So we felt a proactive, socially engaging robot would be a nice way to complement, human caregivers. Lots of challenges. This is such a complex topic because you got AI, you got robotics, you got all the healthcare issues. In this case, we are deeply involved in the dementia scenarios. People living alone, older people, all having a nice social companion which also monitors health and risk factors would be wonderful. Then it became clear that people look at it as nice to have, wonderful, but it's not really a must-have, Then I started visiting some nursing home care facilities and we saw a pattern that, usually half the section, let's say there are 50 patients on this side, 50 on this side. These don't have mental issues, no dementia, Alzheimer. So usually 5 staff, This side, they have all memory care, dementia, 25 staff, 1 to 5 times more. So I realized that really in the dementia care is where we can make a difference. On the when older people, maybe they are frail, but usually the risk factors are not, they're still cognitively thing. So then slowly we realized we have to sharpen our care robot to memory care, dementia care situation. And within that also there are different levels we are tackling. So now we have experts who have written in US who are head of departments, have written books on dementia. So it's kind of like an onion, and we realize that our actually unique IP is going to be the deep insights we get about these situations and how we tackle them. Because, it's completely all kinds of unique situations when somebody has an extreme dementia versus somebody has mild dementia versus moderate dementia. And we are engaged in all these different research grants. So that's really the key unique insights that we are getting. So the idea is a robot that can do night shift, watch out for the risky situations, because they need 24-hour attention. So there we are kind of helping the caregiver more, the robot. Now on the mild side, people want to live in the home. If they forget maybe small things, turn this off, they forget where this is, they need to be reminded about medication, all that. So anything that can keep them home longer, then it's more about you're kind of helping the patient stay. So that's the spectrum. On one side, it's like a self-care, helping people live more independently longer, even if they have mild dementia. On the other is really reducing the caregiver burden on extreme situations. Really, the big part is what is happening now. The hardware and software has been evolving together. Things like NVIDIA, edge processing, all of that is getting so advanced. And then on the other side, you got this AI getting sophisticated. So when you combine them together, we call it physical AI, physical AI. And robot is an example of that, where not only you are processing everything locally, the video, audio, these are very privacy sensitive things. So we are able to process them locally. You're not sending them to cloud and all these issues. And you're just kind of building these AI models, which are personal. You have all kinds of behavior models. So our AI team is very good at building physical, mental, social behaviors. Because unless you observe the behaviors, how do you know it's risky or not? How do you know what to engage? So it's kind of three parts. One is observing, one is understanding the patterns, is something really, serious enough to engage, and the third is engagement. That's where the robot comes in, where it's either engaging with the patient or the caregiver or something. So part was my kind of, connections with the universities. I did my master's from UCI, so I knew Dr. Ramesh, who is a legendary there. He runs their international, the Center for Future Health, connected with Stanford, all of that. So he kind of helped, some of the UCI connections. Same with Case Western. I did my doctorate there. So one of our board members, Yongjin, he is now at LSC, very senior. He kind of helped connect that connection, and Notre Dame, we're kind of doing something there now. Recently, we've started there again. Somebody I knew, Case Weston, who is very senior department leader there, Notre Dame University. So it was kind of like people I've known over the years through conferences. So we started building advisory network. And some became board members, but many are already very passionately involved as expert advisors, because we needed that knowledge. So it wasn't just technology. Even technology, we needed expertise and advisory roles. So we built nice relationship with UET, the robotics lab, the AI lab, and they've kind of continued to help us. But more on the user pain point side, we had to build a network of relationships. After we built that, it became very clear that this thing will require funds, research, and these researchers need funds also and that pays for a lot of the experts, and we benefit from their deep insights, and then that drives the technology and R&D. I think all my life that has been the pattern, travel. In fact, I was talking about my first job with this big company. I was in the international division, where literally every month we were traveling to 20 countries month after month. At that time, it was mainframe type systems. We were converting them to network systems. So the idea was that if we are a computer company, third, fourth company in the world, at least our own subsidiaries should be running on our own, network. So that was our challenge. So there was a Tiger team created at that time, which had a finance guy, logistic guy, IT guy. I was the IT guy, sales and marketing, and we were going subsidiary to subsidiary. So for then, it became kind of part of this whole thing, traveling, working. So now it's more like every 3 months, I have this, rotation, US, China, Pakistan. And in some ways, Pakistan, it gives you a kind of a break in the whole thing, because 11-hour flight, you're in LA, and now they're direct flight from China to Lahore. So it's sort of not that big of a thing, but at least for this R&D innovation, I feel it's important to stay connected, between the customers and the R&D team. And China is a lot of work they are doing, helping us in the sourcing and logistics and those type of things. And sometimes our engineers go there for 1 month to assemble the robot. So we are kind of uniquely positioned to take advantage of the 3 locations. These what we are doing is very challenging and complex, and we don't want to put a product out there too early, because you're talking dementia, all of that. So these research is really critical phase we are going through. So I expect another year of these grants and research before we are ready for mass market type product. And that's another debate we are having internally. Do we directly jump to B2C or B2B? But the projects like these need dozens of millions of dollars. I think the team is growing fast. Sometimes, it's an interesting situation where they learn so much in 1 year, 2 years, that of course they want to pursue better dreams. So many of our staff sometimes go abroad on PhD scholarships and other scholarships, and some of them stay in touch. We kind of create a relationship with them, so part-time they continue to help us. But it's been an incredible growth journey for everybody. And that is one reason we are beginning to attract very top-tier talent, because a lot of young talent in Pakistan, if they join an IT company, they know they'll be doing something routine, for a long time. Here, it's a cutting-edge research, the maximum cutting-edge AI robotics. And then some of them, after 1 or 2 years, actually move to our IT side, and then they shine in our IT side. So it's a great playground for young talent to learn and grow.